House sitting around the world is a strategic way to start traveling right now. Imagine staying in beautiful homes for free and experiencing life as a local while building your online business. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at the world of international house sitting with insights from Nat and Jodie, experts who have turned their wanderlust into a lifestyle. If we haven't met yet, I'm Tanya from Nomadic Income, where we explore opportunities and tools that let us live anywhere and earn everywhere. Today, I'm sharing a few highlights from my interview with Nat and Jodie during the Fall Nomadic Income Summit. You'll learn what house sitting is, how it works, and how Nat and Jodie have used it to travel full time for over a decade. Plus, stick around to hear their top tips for getting started and making house sitting work for you. Ever dreamed of staying in Paris or New York or going to Mexico for free? Nat and Jody will reveal how they've made that happen and how you can too. So let's start with the basics. What is house sitting? Nat and Jody explained that it's like watching a friend's house, but doing it for strangers. You care for their pets, their plants, and even just the house sometimes while the owners are away.
Yeah, so probably most people have been house sitting at some stage. A friend or a family member goes away, they've got a pet or a plant or something that needs looking after, and so you'll go in and either pop in and out or actually stay there and look after the pets. So it's exactly the same thing, except we've now extended it into doing it for strangers, apparently. So when you do that, you can do it around the world. And when they need to go away, perhaps to visit friends or family or do medical things, we actually house sit a lot for expats. So they'll go home for various reasons, and a lot of them have got pets. So we come in and we look after pets and plants and pools and whatever needs taken care of. So we pretty much take over their life.
House sitting can certainly save on travel expenses, but it's also an opportunity to live like a local and experience places that you wouldn't normally visit. For example, Nat and Jody experienced a magical stay in the Sacred Valley of Peru.
We had the Sacred Valley of Peru twice, actually. Um, but that was just such a magical experience. If you probably don't realize what it's like until you're actually there in the Sacred Valley. It's like the most massive mountains and quite a narrow valley that runs through, and you just sort of down in the depths of it, and you're just looking up, and it's just like, I don't know, just like you're being hugged or something. But it was just such an incredible house sitting experience. To We're in such a local village at that point. A lot of them didn't have running water or electricity or anything like that in the village. And so just to see the kids, we'd have to walk through the village to get to the shops.
And they'd pop out and they'd be like, "Hola, chica!"
And then they'd run back inside.
And then we'd be there over Christmas, or we were the first time we were there over Christmas, and they'd come out and they'd be like, "Feliz Navidad!" And they're just like so cute.
I think the good thing about house sitting is such a wide range of experiences that you can have that you just normally wouldn't have. Like, we would never go to that village to stay in our wildest dreams. And house sitting just takes you to these really obscure little places.
But house sitting isn't always about remote destinations either. Nat and Jody have stayed in some of the world's most expensive cities like London and New York and Paris without paying a cent for accommodations. Additionally, they see house sitting as the perfect way to cut expenses while you work on an online business.
Say, and it's the perfect way to bootstrap your business, because
Mhm.
if you don't have the pressure of your monthly expenses
Massive
hanging
bills.
over your head while you're trying to launch a business of some description, or even some sort of online income, like whatever it is that you're doing to have that location independence, it's kind of like, it's pretty tough getting it rolling. And if you remove that extra pressure of, I need to meet this, expense, this bill, this cost of living, blah, 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 you remove all that, then you've got a lot more freedom for creativity and getting it rolling. So we've always looked at, we actually did our calculations for, the first at least 8 or 9 years. And we figured, well, if you have to eat anyway, and you're generally going to have some sort of entertainment of some description anyway, then we calculated what our actual travel costs were. And because we had, back-to-back house sits, we had no expenses for internet, electricity, water, and or rent or mortgage. So the equivalent of that was just, what did it cost us to fly around the world? Well, it was less than $2,500 each on average every year. There was a couple of years where we did like hit up 14 countries, and even then the flight expenses weren't that much more.
What a great way to start traveling now. There's no need to put it off. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more tips on creating your dream travel lifestyle. So, how do you get started with house sitting? Nat and Jody recommend trying it locally to make sure that it's a good fit for you.
We're about international house sitting, um, but definitely trying it in your own country first is a wise move, because then you're not trying to deal with new currencies and new cultures and languages that you don't speak, and different food that might upset your tummy because you're not used to it. Like all these things that you have to take into account when you go overseas. So certainly have the experience of house sitting just on its own type thing in your own country where everything else is familiar, and just see whether you like it, and then you can take it overseas.
Nat and Jody also emphasize the importance of creating a standout profile and approaching homeowners with a service mindset.
Being of service.
Yes.
It's not about you traveling the world like it is for you, and using house sitting to travel, but from the homeowner's point of view, they want someone that they can rely on, that's going to be there to look after their pets and home while they go away. So it's really coming from that perspective of what do they need. So you really have to write your profile and any sort of application emails and your interview and things like that, coming from that being of service mindset. And I think that being of service mindset really does end up paying you dividends as well, because you just feel so humble and so lovely about being able to help people, because a lot of homeowners can't go away. They don't have friends and family to be able to look after their pets where they're living. And so their only option is to get a house sitter in, and that enables them to go and reunite with their family or go and have medical things done. And you are their lifesaver.
Are you interested in learning more about house sitting? I've included links to Nat and Jody's book in the description, as well as a link to their house sitting course to get you on the fast track to living abroad. Have you ever considered house sitting, or have you used it as a way to travel? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and join me again as we talk about more opportunities and tools that can help you start traveling sooner. See you in the next Summit Secrets video.